Hey guys, welcome back. This is Tryptic with another Fleet Ops audio commentary. This is the new version, Tryptic's mod version 3A, well 3.0A. And this is the first test game I'm going to be recording. It's actually the first test game I've observed. I've been playing with the mod for many hours, but I really want to see how other people react to it. So we have the same team as before here. We just did an alliances game, and I believe they went top versus bottom. So we have Shadow de Grey and Nessie versus Starmaster Prodigy and Zap. In this situation, Shadow is Takroja Klingons. Nessie is Muriel Romulans. Zap is Takroja Klingons as well. And Prodigy is trying out Optimized Borg with my new Borg rules. So, in Tryptic's mod version 3, the Borg economy has been completely redone. I've removed collective connections, and I'm using that slot to mark how many collective features that you have open. Their ships are all built using vinculums. A vinculum is the core of your Borg ship. There are small, medium, and large vinculums, and you must first build them at the conduction matrix before you can use them in a ship. And then it basically functions as a limit. You have a cap on how many ships you can build, but you can increase that cap by researching more vinculums. When the ship dies, you get the vinculum back. So this means that the first time you expand your fleet, it will be more expensive than it will be if you lose some ships and have to rebuild. The first research is 2 small vinculums. Oh wow, and here we see Starmaster Prodigy going for a very high economy build because he is getting perfect logistics, but he is not getting any vinculums this early. And he is sending his con down here. I'm not entirely sure why. Because I did believe it was top versus bottom, so he's not going towards the enemy. Maybe, oh, he's probably tech transferring. Oh, what do the Klingon get from having a Borg ally? They get a Kadouj. They get a Kadouj variant with some increased values, and its energy drain ability is like tripled for the torpedo. So it would be very effective against the Borg. I mean, the mixed tech variant of it would be very effective against the Borg, because if they had a regeneration ability, which many of them do now. Another change in Tryptic's mod version 3 is that the resource assimilators, their fancy regeneration ability, they do not get that until they have the regenerative processes research, which is at the transmission matrix. So you guys requested it to make Borg easier to raid earlier game, but now it's happened. So the Borg, their miners cannot regenerate until they have that technology, which means a transmission matrix, which is also more expensive now. It now costs 1,200, 600. So it's basically the cost of 2 major tech buildings. And I'm wondering if he's planning to build his ships over here entirely. But in just a second, we'll probably see that tech pop up. Not yet. Not yet. Do it. I even fixed the tooltip. See? It has a tooltip now. Oh well. So he's going to finish that and probably upgrade some miners. I'm not certain which ones. Actually, I need to check. I don't know if it really has a different tooltip for maximized resource assimilator. I'm going to have to go check that. Yeah, it would have to, because the tooltip would have to have a, like, out of 4. So Starmaster Prodigy has transferred the technology, so now Zap has some Borg technology. But he is not building any ships. Oh, okay, he must be saving up for something big. But he's not saving up for something big. He's spent a whole lot on extra miners. I'm a bit surprised. You know, maybe he popped in a vinculum while I wasn't watching. So, he's off to a little bit of a slow start, but we'll see it pick up probably. His opponent, Nessie, is ecoing up like a champ. This map is called Exelon, by the way. It is one of Shadow's favorite maps, and I'm realizing now it actually is pretty similar to star traffic in the beginning. It just has much bigger open spaces in the middle, because you have your base and then you have your expansion down here, base, expansion, and so on. So let's see, we have Nessie. He must be going for a warbird yard. There it goes. Oh, by the way, I have a fluffy kitten on my lap here. Meow for the... Meow, kitty. Aw, she's not meowing. But yes, there's a kitty walking around my desk, just so you're aware. She's adorable. And if anything goes horribly, horribly wrong, then I'll blame the cat. Who's getting shot at? Ooh. Right, so, Nessie got one Shrike. And that Shrike is now under attack. And I don't know, yeah, they're not going to get a kill there. And it will be detected by the Burrells, but the Burrells did not give chase well enough. Yes, so Nessie should be getting a warbird pretty soon here. He has a lot of eco, so when he does decide to build things, he will be able to. Shadow is getting small ship spam. He does not even have a battle yard, but he has a forward heavy weapons platform, and given this choke point, that's going to keep him very safe. Oh, Starmaster Prodigy, I think, is going for a cube. Yep, he's trying to cube rush. Well, you can try it out, but, actually, no. Your cube is going to require transmission matrix. So it's going to be really, really expensive. Yep, there he goes. You are going to dump a lot of resources. And I did look at this very specifically, guys. Because I was concerned, it used to be a thing in 4 versus 4 matches. If there's a Borg player on one team, they give all of their resources to the Borg, and the Borg builds a cube. And with the collective connections, he had to buy Resistance is Futile a bunch of times, so he had to spend a lot of resources on that, especially supply. But now, your first cube is just going to be straight resources. But you are going to need your conduction matrix, which is now 600, 300. You're going to need your transmission matrix, which is now 1200, 600. So that's like 3 full tech facilities. The vinculum for the Borg cube costs 2,000, 1,000. And then the cube chassis itself is a little bit less expensive than it was previously, especially cubes that don't have tactical plates. But still, okay, he is going for a sphere. Because if it had been a straight cube... So, and the fact that he did get that means that... if he was able to upgrade it, that means he did already buy the medium vinculum. The medium vinculum is 600, 300. So up here we have a deep raid. Shadow has gotten his mixed tech yard, wanting some egen there. And Zap's raiding force, I think that one might die. Oh wow, that Burrell got out. But he did get the constructor kill, and I think that's all he cared about. That's not bad at all for only 2 Burrells. He lost one of the Burrells. But he got a constructor, and that's about equal cost, honestly. Shadow is really cranking out those Egen and Cavorts and Burrells, so he's going to have a very effective striking force against the Klingons. From Zap, we see Vorcha coming out, and there's Transmission Matrix, and we'll get to see the first sphere soon. So yeah, Nessie's build-up strategy is really moving slowly. Okay, there he has a Salar. He's getting his research institute so he can get D'Deridex now, and he's also building Riens. So he's a little bit spread out over what he's doing, and he's getting a lot of long-range ships. But because he didn't raid the Borg early. Probably because he felt like the Borg didn't have a lot of... he probably was thinking the Borg were still early to raid, and I didn't explain to the characters yet that Borg start out with regeneration, although he's probably researching it now. Oh no. Oh, he doesn't have enough features for regeneration, so he has to get the collective adaption. And the adaption levels now cost resources as well. So now we see... Okay, we see an adaption matrix. It's I didn't add Allied Repair to it yet. It's going to have Allied Repair in the next version. And it's a little bit weaker right now because it used to have that collective connection income bonus, and now obviously that's been removed. but it is still cheaper and more effective than a incubation chamber. And I'm going to make it a little bit more so. So now we see a triple prime? Yeah, triple prime torpedo sphere. This is a max damage sphere, coming in at 103. Its beam and torpedo are going to do a lot of damage, and that is escorted by a pair of Vorcha. The Vorcha don't have their special yet, but they could. And just some Burrells along with that. Up here we see several Riens. They have their phase plates, and then a Salar. A Salar would be incredibly effective if you got its special ability, although I believe its special ability is at the Tal Shiar Academy now. But that Disruptor Bombardment, that ability to stun, you could use that to stun the sphere. That would be really important if you had that, but he doesn't have it yet. And these Riens with their pulse damage, these Burrells, like, you're not going to be able to do enough damage to kill that sphere. Not to mention, whatever it shoots at is going to gain a huge energy drain, so... However, Shadow has the Cavorts with the shield-breaking torpedo, and the shield-breaking torpedo now disables weapons for 2 seconds. It's a very short disable, but it will prevent the Vorchas from cloaking. And if you were to stack it, like if you were to have several of them use shield-breaking torpedo in a row, then you could get them and kill them. They will also prevent that sphere from regenerating. So if he can very carefully, you know, chain these, like shield-breaking torpedo, shield-breaking torpedo, shield-breaking torpedo, then he can keep the weapons on that sphere disabled for 6 seconds, for 3. And I think Shadow, oh man, he needs to get that that E-gen over there, because a lot of his firepower is all pulse-based, and the enemy sphere is a large ship. Down here, Shadow's, he's working on another one, Star Master Project, and he's getting nanites. And we did see a second medium vinculum go down. Coming up here towards the Warbird Yard, where there is a second Salar out and a third one under construction. Obviously, Nessie has had a huge economy to just build these ships. And when the fight happens, you see the damage is going to be very high on this Vorcha. This ship needs to be very careful, though. Make sure you can get into the yard. The repair part is at the bottom. Oh, yeah. He needs to look for it. It's in the Tal Shiar. I might switch over to their TeamSpeak channel and tell him that real quick. But I have to watch this fight. It's going to be so good. Well, I mean, it was in the upgrades facility before, so... Now we see another one decloaking. If these Burrells come in and decloak this ship, otherwise it's going to escape. That one is escaping. And now here's the big decloak, and Star Master Prodigy is running. That is a lot of damage. That Vorcha is going to die. And you see that Rien, man, that level 3 Deflector Dominator, the sphere basically drains its entire energy right away. So if you do enter battle against the sphere, you're going to have to use phase plates right away, or else your phase plates will be disabled. And one sec, I am actually going to go into
User
TeamSpeak
joined
real
your
quick.
channel.
Oh, hey there. Who's this?
Where's the research?
It's at the Tal Shiar Academy. Yeah, sorry, I moved it from the upgrade facility.
Wasn't it in the research institute?
No,
Just
not
like
for the.
all
It
the
never
other
was.
things?
But yeah, it's not the upgrade facility. It's the Tal Shiar, if that's what you want. Like it's not the one you're building right now. It's the other one.
I can't build Tal Shiar without the upgrade, or can I?
No, you can. It just requires research.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And that'll be deadly against those spheres.
Why?
Well, because it can stun them. they can't regenerate, and they can't move, and they can't attack.
User left your channel.
Alright. Now we have an increasing number of Salars over here. We see the spheres. We have... This one is a beam. Oh boy. So this is a triple beam torpedo sphere, which means it shoots at 4 targets at once, which I'm really excited to see. Its damage output is extreme, but the fact that it spreads out its damage actually makes it very difficult for it to get kills on its own. And that heavy weapons platform is going down. Ooh, we have some charge though. So the top team are very much adapting to this board play. These chargs with their combat tractor beam will lock down a sphere. It will not be able to escape. And Starmaster Prodigy, he is getting his 3rd sphere out. Looks like they're boarding something. Oh, they're boarding that constructor, but it did make it into the yard. I think this whole base might get killed, but there is a big fleet coming. And especially these 3 Salars. Well, no, they're not going to have their special ability in time, but they will for the next fight. And then when there's 4 and then 5 Salars, you can see Nessie's supply has gone to 0 because he's building as much as he can. And Starmaster Prodigy, oh, he's trying to board that. I don't think that's going to work out as well as you hoped. You needed to kill it, dude. You're not that advantaged. I mean, he's getting kind of close to capturing it, but this decloak is going to hurt very badly. It's going to hurt Zap first, though. Zap's going to take a ton of losses. And there's a decloaking scout up here as well. So here is the 3rd sphere, and now you see the spheres with their multi-targeting, but they're not actually in the thick of it anymore. And the bottom team actually escaping very well there. I think they only lost 2 ships. But yeah, there's Disruptor Bombardment going down. So it's going to take 2 minutes. It's a very expensive research now. Because I looked at it, and honestly, like, against certain races such as the Borg, like, it's a really strong ability. And as a result, it needs to be priced as such. So it's costing him a chunk of change, and it's taking a while. And here we see Zap going for some more forward raiding. He might kill off this freighter and constructor, and then Nessie won't have any constructors. But nope, didn't get tagged. And now there's a combat tractor beam out for the top team. So the top team have got some serious superiority going on. The Vorcha have their Polaron torpedo though, so we could definitely see some things where, like, if one of these starts using disruptor bombardment, then a Vorcha could use Polaron torpedo and maybe knock out the weapons on the Salar, and that would cause it to drop its beam. But we do have 3 spheres, a 4th sphere on the way. It's also a beam, so he's going, other than that first prime sphere, they are all beams. Ooh, and some cloaked ships getting tagged really hard. We're gonna see some spheres coming in and fighting here. This is gonna be a very interesting fight. Disruptor bombardment is not finished. You did not want to attack without that. But we do have the E-Gen beacons going down. All of Shadow's ships, though, are just getting shredded by these beam spheres. That multi-targeting is doing a ton of damage to them, and the spheres are still okay. The spheres are still doing fine. Shadow is running, Nessie is running, they're still under that cloak detect. No, don't! Ah, you can't run under the cloak detect. And they are taking so much damage. Oh wow, we just saw 3 Salars go down. They fought under that heavy weapons platform and under the sensor station, and they were just taking so much damage that entire fight from the stationary emplacements.
User joined your channel.
Is there a change where I will lose subsystems all the time?
That was I think that was the Polaron torpedoes and the fact that your hull got exposed to the heavy weapons platform. You guys attacked right under their turrets and without disruptive bombardment. Okay, I do need to go back to commenting, so one sec. Alright, I have cleared out my channel. And why are you decloaked? Why are you decloaked here? Oh, they captured the ping scout. And, yeah, and Nessie's going ahead and quitting out here. Alright, guys, well, that was a very effective test. I really... If those Salars had been in there with their Disruptor Bombardment, I really think it would have gone differently. The Borg did seem like their buildup was a little bit fast there, but let's see what the players say when they get in here.
There is a bug. I don't need Felinkians to build spheres. I can just constantly build them.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I researched it once, and then I just kept building them, building them, building them, and building them.
Researched what?
We noticed, Mighty. Don't worry, we noticed.
What did you research?
Yeah, you meant to get one medium one per research, so I guess one means you can only build one sphere and then you got to redo it again, but I didn't have to do that.
Really? Oh,
really?
I'll have to test it then.
So that definitely let me build more. Because the research is 600 or 400 plus the 88 seconds it takes.
Well,
Our fleet could handle like 2, 3, not 5 spheres.
What research are you talking about?
So
This is some...
the Borg, they build vinculums now. So they, like, for every ship they have to build the core, and then if the ship dies they get the core back. But I tested it last night and it was working just fine. Like, you couldn't select the Borg, you couldn't select the, you know, the sphere chassis without it. At least that's how it was before. I'll take
I
a
was
look at it,
optimised, and I'm pretty sure I built one, maybe 2 of them, but no more than 2, and I had like 5 spheres.
Okay.
But theoretically I should have only had 2, shouldn't I, with 2 Felinkians.
Crap. Okay, so you were building them cheaper than they should have been.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll look into it. Anyway, for the replay, this is Tryptic signing off.